Jeremiah versus Codi, Nilsa and Gus. Pimp cups are full here on AfterBuzz TV's Floribama After Show. Chi-Chi's up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ooh, yes.
Hello, AfterBuzz TV fans of Floribama. It's so great to be here. Keven Undergaro. Of course, I'm going to keep my Jersey Shore name. I've decided because I have my Jersey Shore co-host, who I've imported back onto this show, of course. Morgalicious, as you remember from last year.
Yeah, last year. What crazy. It's so good to be back. Morgalicious. We're bringing all the Jersey names back, and we're talking season 2. So excited. The cast gets better and better.
Better and better. Staycation.
Woo!
Okay, we got you over here, so what do you think at Jersey Shore to here?
An addict. Like, I'm addicted to the cast members. I'm like going through their Instagrams. They're so cool. Whoever casted the show, well,
Sally, our girl Sally.
Sally
Such
Salzano,
a good cast.
right?
Relatable. I love it.
Right, good show.
Totally relatable.
And last week, what did you think of the first episode?
I thought it was such a good way to start off. I love how it comes out. We get to see a little bit what they're doing. Kortni's back with their parents. Love seeing what they're doing. And of course, it ends with drama, which is like, I mean, how else are you going to end a season premiere with more drama? So, loved it.
That's the Sally Salzano formula.
It's
You know what I mean?
winning formula.
Right? And doesn't even deliver necessarily because, the credits roll and it's like dun, dun, dun. And I'd say less than half the time does it deliver on the next episode, but who cares?
Because it sucks you in. I was like,
Sucks
oh my God,
you
I
in.
need to know about this crazy
Sucks
boyfriend.
you
Yes,
in.
that boyfriend.
Sucks you
Crazy
in. All right,
guys.
you guys, later on we're going to have, of course, Staycation always gets us the news, the gossip, and the inside info, right? So we love that. I know. And then, Morgalicious, you interviewed all these guys.
I did. I was at the MTV Movie and TV Awards. Got to talk to the whole cast. Gang was all there. Next week, we'll pull up that video. But it was really interesting to see the dynamic because you can kind of see who is becoming the front runners of this cast. Like, it was very much Candace leading the interview, Gus, and Nilsa. Them three in the front. Jeremiah would throw out a joke. No offense, Jeremiah, no one really laughed.
Right.
But it's funny because Codi and Kortni were just kind of in the back and they didn't say a word. And then finally I brought out, I was like, Kortni back there, like, girl, come here, like, talk to me. And she was just like, very kind of distant. I don't know if she was just like freaked out. It's like it was their first very big event for these people.
Yeah.
I love that.
But that makes sense.
It was very interesting to see who is kind of running the cast.
Go ahead, Staycation.
I love that they're not so big yet. I love that.
Well, and it was just nice because, like, you can tell, like, it was all these stars and, like, super designer things. And these girls, like, they were just wearing, like, cute dresses. Like, this was, like, their first award series. So, like, everything was so fun. They were so pumped to talk to me. And I was just like, oh, bless you guys. I love them. I hope they stay that humble, which I think that they will.
Well, if the show doesn't get that big, then they probably will. But I think that, to me, makes sense with Codi and Kortni. Because Kortni, to me, is very young and fun, little ADD going on there, and I could see her being so spooked because she's just a little girl inside. I could see her being so spooked by all that. And then with Codi, he's good with a few beers in him, but if he's not drunk, I could see him being shot, just overwhelmed by it all.
He almost reminds me of kind of like The Situation in the Jersey Shore, where it's like, I don't think when he's sober, he fits in the group as much. So that's kind of what it struck me. It seemed like it was like the whole group and then like kind of him in the back. But also we were on a small carpet, so that could have just been like we weren't as spread out and they were all trying to cram in front of a camera. But it was very interesting to see. I think we're going to see a lot of Gus.
I like seeing that out of Gus because, first of all, I love all kids, but I really like Gus. And I think I like seeing that side of him because that means he'll have a future. Doing more stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I think for sure. And like, look at him with all the romance novels. Like, who knew you could make such a career out of that? But I think he put on his Instagram, he's done like over 100. Like, I could be.
But look at the good looking guy from The Bachelor this year. That was, I don't even think he was good looking, but he was a model. And he was just completely empty, right?
The worst.
So it's good that Gus has depth and the fact that he can be charming on the, that's great. I mean, I also think Nilsa is the one that becomes, if this makes sense, the Bethany Frankel of this kind of franchise. I think she's the one that.
Well, you can already see, like, I've been looking at her Instagram. She's already selling stuff. She's, doing merch and like all this stuff, and you can tell she's already on the path to do that.
Yeah, I think she'll have many, many, many loves but I think the ultimate love will probably be career and fandom. I just feel like that.
I can see
I
it.
think Gus is like the Pauly D for Bama.
Could be.
He's very likable.
And well, you know what, Alice? That's a great point because he also has a career.
Yeah.
Like Pauly had his DJ thing, which wasn't huge, but it was a business. And this guy's self-sufficient off of being a model. Yeah, you could be right. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. Let's get into tonight's episode. We definitely will. I know, Stace, you have news for later that we'll get into, but we open up Post Club, and again, I'm excited to see this drama continue. And it really doesn't so much, but it turns into new drama,
Yep.
right? So, I mean,
Hi.
well, I guess we should back up a little. Gus picks up a chick, and that's very significant because we're seeing there's a new Gus in town. This is season 2 Gus, you guys. This is not. No. Yeah, Stace,
I know,
I'm
he was
sorry.
so different last season. He wanted to be wifed up. Like he was like took Nilsa on a date and all this stuff. I think it's refreshing. He's 22 years old. This is what he should be doing on summer vacation. You should be picking up girls and make out with a different girl every night. I'm here for it.
Every night. Yeah, and listen, as fans, it's better for us. We talk about it all the time. When these guys and they get wifed up, it's not fun.
No.
It'll make way more drama. I feel like he's like the guy that, last year was he tried to be the good guy, $200 of money he didn't have to take Nilsa on, and I think it's just like, now it's like, nah, I'm good.
I'm over
I
it.
think it's time in wrestling, we'd say that's a heel turn. But not that he's going heel, but yeah, no, I think it's like, no, I'm not going to get wifed up. He picks up a cute girl, and she's a lot of fun.
I thought she was real cute for him.
Cute and fun and a good sport. Did you guys, we all gasped when Nilsa came out and he brought her home, knowing I said this is a C block.
Yes, totally.
Like a definition C block.
She has to be the one winning.
But even like you can tell, like she it wasn't just like a say hi to the girl and walk away and let them do the thing. She had to pick up the girl and give her a hug and all this stuff.
Here's what was interesting though. I've seen girls in the past respond to that, meaning all like buddy up with her and hang out and drink with her, and then the guy sits there and goes, "Okay, when's this over so we can go up and do what we came to do?"
Smush.
But I like how she didn't. The girl, Kayla, didn't kind of. She was like, she gave the hug and it was fun, but then she's like, "Okay, I really want to be with Gus now."
Yeah.
So Nilsa was just standing there. I feel in this moment, Nilsa's not into him yet. It's just more, I want to get some attention. I'm bored. I've been drinking all day.
Yep.
And I don't really need to see anyone else having fun or getting romantic because I don't have that
for
left.
me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think she likes him now, though. She's like that type of girl.
We have the turn happens. The turn happens. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I have some choice thoughts about that.
And we'll get there. But Kortni and the boyfriend.
What a
It's
dangerous.
all fine, whatever. Like the next day I was drunk, you were drunk. But man, last week, were there not danger signs?
Well, so many danger signs. And the fact, I think the number one red flag that stood out to me is Kortni's like bragging. She's like, well, some guy called me a slut and he knocked him the F out. And I was just like, that's not something you should be in love with. That doesn't mean he's like head over heels for you. That means he's probably crazy.
He's crazy.
You can tell she's young and gullible in that because she's like, oh, he loves me. He protects me.
Yes. Yeah, and no.
Girl, run
away.
No. And then, do we have anything on him in the news? Did you mention?
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah, we
tease later.
definitely
We have
have
some
some.
inside information on, what's his name? Logan.
Logan. Oh, Logan.
Well, on the ride home, Jeremiah and Codi, which we got it. It's Codi.
Codi.
But Jeremiah and Codi, they get into a brouhaha, an argument, and we were kind of wondering how it went down. It seemed as though Codi was trying in his own way to console Kortni in kind of a fun way, and Dad Jeremiah was like, enough. I've got this, kind of. And then of course that's what ignites everything.
He was holding her like a baby. Do you guys think that was weird?
I think that's just him. He has to be like Mr. Save the Day. Like, let's do everything to the extreme. And to me, I thought he crossed the line with like saying that to Codi. I mean, just if anything, if you still want to be the hero, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
You can keep babying Kortni and taking care of her, but he snapped real quick. So I think there's some bad blood.
Do you guys remember, back in the day, and probably even still in the day, I knew the friend that was like that always had to go the other way, and it wasn't genuine. It was more because I'm going to show you that I am better than all of you, or I'm separate from all of you, and that's kind of what I feel like this is.
Yeah, like he's better than all of them. He thinks he's like above them. I totally think so too. Just the way he walks around, too, how he holds himself.
Even if he doesn't think he's better,
right.
he wants to separate and be, always be that guy. And last week they pointed that out and they said, don't do that.
Right.
And I knew what they meant when they said that. Like, don't do that. Don't be that guy, who's now going to be holier than thou. Like, come on, man. We're all venting. We're all having our moment.
Because no one likes that. One, I think he's kind of pointed it out whenever he was like, well, Codi's messy and I don't want to associate with messy people. Everyone in that house is messy, Jeremiah. So like, it's like by him even saying that he like thinks he's above the mess. I'm like, no, just embrace the mess. Everyone's on a messy level. You're here to have fun, get drunk in the summer. And have we ever seen Jeremiah really like get wasted?
You know what? He was drunk. He was drunk tonight. You could see it in his eyes.
You could, but he's like, he never gets out of control. So
No.
He's so uptight.
I think that's it.
Totally uptight.
I don't. Yeah, he's very well. Sometimes when people like that are so well put together, there's so much thought put into it.
Freaks me out.
They're not they're not secure. They're not comfortable. So I can't see him really. It would be fun if he gets really drunk.
I want to see him.
should
I
go.
want to see him on a Kortni level.
Yes.
What'd you think of the confrontation at the pool after day drinking, where they're like, all right, tell him.
I think Codi has some balls for calling him out. I like that. I feel like he's real, he's humble, he's straightforward, he's truthful, but I think I don't like Jeremiah that much. Sorry.
I just don't think anytime people have been drinking, it's gonna go in a circle.
Yeah.
Like you're never gonna solve anything. It's gonna be people. You don't think rationally when you're drunk, so I don't think that was a good idea. But I think somebody needed to call Jeremiah out. So I give Codi props because even all the guys were like, yeah, like Codi's calling him out on his shit. Like it seems like every single cast member they interviewed was kind of like, yeah, Jeremiah does think he's right all the time. So like, I'm with Codi on that one.
Yeah, I am
Just
too.
maybe do it sober. I think it would have a lot more effect.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you guys disagree with us, which
Please.
oftentimes you do, please go to our YouTube channel and leave us a comment. But also, if you would subscribe, then that would just be stupendous. And I'll tell you, if you love AfterBuzz, it helps us a ton. And if you do subscribe, please, again, let us know in the comments. But we also have other channels here at AfterBuzz. This is our reality channel, but if you're a fan of drama, if you're a fan of science fiction, if you're a fan of wrestling, we have those channels too. And if you'd be so kind as to subscribe to them, it would help us a ton. And as always, just please tell friends about us, that we're here, that we're covering almost all of your favorite TV shows. It's a lot of work. Our hosts work really hard to do it. We work really hard to do it. I wear rompers like this.
Woo!
Woo! The male
I don't know if
rompum.
you can see me. You probably have to go to the wine shot. Anyway. But yeah, we would appreciate it. And then also, if you're listening, we don't want to forget about the people on iTunes. If you're
love you.
listening on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating, comment, and do the same. Subscribe and tell your friends. But definitely in the comments, let us know. And Staycation will start reading the comments. And like I said, they're not always positive, but we're okay with that.
I honestly like even when they're not
Yeah.
positive because I'm like, oh, it brings up something I didn't think about. And I actually have some fan shout outs for later. And a lot of people didn't agree with things that we said last week, but I'll bring that
all
up.
right. Well, listen. Codi and Jeremiah don't get along, so we're not all going to get along either.
No.
Okay. Toothpastegate. Who do you think did the toothpaste, you guys? Who squeezed out Aimee's toothpaste?
I don't think it was Codi. Definitely not. I think it might have been maybe Jeremiah or something.
No. I think
maybe
it's,
it was
I think
like
it's
a secret thing.
Codi
You think
for
so?
sure. I don't think it's Gus. I don't think Jeremiah thinks through pranks that much. I don't see Kirk doing it. I think it's Codi, and I think we've seen in the past whenever Codi gets confronted, he doesn't say anything. It seems like he quickly deflects. So I think it was him. I think next week we'll get some kind of.
And if not next week, in the weeks to come, because remember Jersey Shore did that too with one of the pranks that went bad. It was revealed later, so that's not going to go away. What was interesting, you guys were really shocked at how hard she took it, and then we talked about the fact that she really probably comes from poverty, like not just we're tight on money, like probably poverty. So I understand where that would be upsetting to her.
Oh, for sure. I think it's refreshing too. Another reason why I like Gus is seeing him break down, and the fact that she was crying about the toothpaste and then he started getting emotional really shows that he probably also has struggled growing up and has probably come from like a similar background. So I think.
Well, he did. Remember they talked about that last year. He lived in his car.
Oh yeah,
he
he did.
gets
Yeah.
it.
He had a rough. So I think that's what makes Floribama more relatable than Jersey Shore, because you get to see, I guess, more real people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think and they're more vulnerable, and they're more they've been through more pain and suffering, you know. Whereas Jersey Shore guys are great, but you can feel like they've been in clubs their whole lives,
Right.
and Tim Tin laundry, but these guys came from hardship, and you see it. I think Aimee, like, seems like just a typical female in the best way, meaning she'll get angry and lose her temper, but then she calms down and is like, and gets very reasonable, and it's just such a loving and sweet
I adore
person
her.
and friend, and she's great, right?
Yeah. She took off her wig and then she was kind of laughing at the end of it.
You work that blue wig.
Yeah.
What did she say? She feels like a beautiful alien, and in her world, everyone just has magical orgasms. I was like, all right.
Smokes
Aimee.
marijuana. Smokes marijuana. That was funny.
Let's go to Nilsa and Gus. It finally happens. You know, have you guys ever had this happen to you where you've known someone for a long time, maybe at college or high school, and then all of a sudden, just in one night, you see them in a different way, and sometimes it's just a look, and it's like, huh, what? Have you guys?
God, no, that has
Margalicious?
not happened
No?
to me.
I think when they start, they end up with someone else more so, and you're like, oh, darn, I didn't see the good in that friend.
I've definitely seen a guy that like I completely blew off, and if I saw him with another girl, it's not even that I think he's more attractive. It's just like, well, he didn't like. No, that should be me.
Yeah.
Like
I should
he's
be
now
getting
with another
attention.
girl. Like now, I want that to be me, because then you get a little jealous. I think that's kind of what spurred
happened?
Nilsa. She's like, oh, he's getting with girls. Well, no, like that's me. Like I denied him.
Like,
He should
wait,
still
and-
want me.
But the first girl, okay, no big deal. But now he's like 2 days in,
Yep.
2 for 2, and she's like, oh my God, like this guy is a stud. It kind of speaks so much to romance, you know, like that's like he takes her out to $200 dinner. He's a gentleman. He's sweet. Nah, I don't want to be with you. But
Nice
now
guy.
he picks up 2 girls
And
in
it's
2
like, I
days.
want you.
Yeah, you're amazing. Let's get married.
Yeah, that's literally how life works.
Yeah.
It's so opposite.
Want what you can't
Girls
have.
Suck.
You guys, the whole time I'm seeing it, I'm like them. I'm reacting, right? I'm like, oh my God. But I'm saying at the same time, like, don't do it. Now, can you at least relate to that?
No,
when you cross the line
Yes.
as the guy, you know, you're screwed.
Well, and he
Like,
won't be able to go back.
Yeah.
And you know, she's not like a typical chill girl where it's like you hook up and you can be friends.
No.
After-
First of all, wait, who are the typical chill girls? Because I want to meet them.
no.
I've never met one of them. It's usually.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can have no strings
Good.
attached. I
Good.
feel like
Keep
I can.
it that way.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have a
Yeah.
lot of pride, so it's like you should like me. Come on, like I can kind of relate to her.
I just was like, don't do it, Gus, don't, but do it because we love the entertainment. But don't do it.
so many problems coming his way.
Oh boy, that is a no-win scenario.
And she went for it. It wasn't even him.
Oh, she went hard
Well,
for
I
it.
think, listen, she's a little boss. She's a girl boss. Like, she's an alpha female. You know, like I said, she's going to be the star of this show. You'll see. And she gets what she wants. And so, wait, I'm not the center. He's getting girls. No, you're mine. Now I want you. But watch when.
It's gonna be bad.
He's too young and too much man right now for her.
Right.
An older guy will like treat her like the princess she is and spoil her and all that. But a guy like that, no, she's not gonna be able to handle that.
And like we can't forget, she's like been through a lot. She's been married and divorced
That's
and
right.
all this stuff. So like she needs someone way older who's
That's
been through that
right.
too. Because
No. So in the Sally Sosana way, like we already said, credits are rolling. Then the hand goes out to hold the
softly.
hand, and like, oh my God.
And you know.
Then it's all going down now.
So
Trouble.
okay, well, you know what? Let's we will get into predictions for next week, but let's go to the news, and I want to hear all the news you have to take care of.
Yes. So, guys, news.
Love it.
News time. So the season 2 premiere reached about 1 million viewers. So this show is hot right now.
Wow.
Such a great segue from Jersey Shore.
So great.
So great. And then some other news about Kortni and her man Logan. According to Starcasm and the Hollywood Gossip, on April 23rd, she filed a restraining order against him. So
can
you
see
guys were
that.
right. Trouble.
Oh,
He has
my.
crazy eyes. Like, you look at his eyes and you can just, he has
See.
crazy
Yeah.
eyes.
Wow.
And it's for violence and for stalking.
Oh my God.
And recently, also on May 18th, he was charged for violating that restraining order. So he's not going to
Yeah, well, he doesn't. Well, because he's the type of guy who drinks, so he's probably gonna, I mean, no, he's not gonna. He's the type of guy that can't handle his liquor, so he's gonna ignore that all day long. And I'm sad for her because I actually think later in life, that's a trauma that'll stay with her.
Yep. And it probably doesn't help, like, now she's on the show, she's in the public eye, so he can find her very easily. I'm sure she's all over social media, so I'm sure that doesn't help
And that's
in itself.
gonna make him crazy.
Yep, and he's just gonna have to see it, and it's a spiral.
Yeah, and we don't know if they're still together because she doesn't really post anything on Instagram of him anymore. So
No, I'm sure they're not together. If she has a if she's stalking, I'm sure it's over. Does she? What is her Instagram like though? Does she post a lot?
a lot of like solo pictures, a lot of going out pictures,
A lot of party pics.
Party pics.
Love
I mean,
it.
she is so fun.
She's fun.
She's hilarious.
Can we invite her here and, like, let's go out?
Yes.
Listen, we are Candace, our dear AfterBuzz alum. We are in touch with her reps, and we're talking about her joining the panel.
Yes.
And when I told you guys, like, if Pimp Fried Rice comes here, then I think the door's open.
Oh,
To the
for
rest of
sure.
it- the rest
let's
of
get
the-
them. Let's get the gang in.
The Flora brats. What else you got, Stacey?
Well, fans are going crazy right now too because Gus might have a new lady. This guy, he's a player now. So supposedly, Brianna De Jesus from Teen Mom, if you guys know who she is from Teen Mom,
Heard the name.
She might be, canoodling with him.
Really?
And I guess they both appeared on TRL, MTV's TRL recently, and then she posted a pic of them on Instagram, and he wrote under the pic, "Great to meet you," and she responded likewise with heart emojis, and so fans are like, are they starting to get a little flirty with them? So
Interesting.
Teen Mom, Gus? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't need to be with the teen mom.
Oh, guys.
We need to be with the Morgalicious.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, I usually go for older men, but it's fine. I'll make an exception.
He's fun.
You're gonna have to fight Pauly D. So all
mean,
fair,
they are similar.
all's fair in love and war.
And that's the news that we have for today.
Good.
If you guys have anything else, hit us up because we love hearing.
And then you
some
know what?
dirty
Next
news.
week, let's do an Instagram. Let's go over their stuff. I want to do some.
Okay.
I want to deep dive on these guys.
Let's do like a stalker session.
Yeah, we'll stalk them a little bit.
them.
Before we go to predictions, Morg, did you have anything else to
I
add?
did. Okay, so I went on YouTube. I know I missed last the premiere, but I still love reading the comments. So we got a few on YouTube. I want to give some shout outs. So Keisha Smith, I love this one. She said, "Y'all need to be less intellectual and just bask in the ratchet
You're
city."
right. You're right.
I love it.
You're right. No, because we gotta listen. We gotta fill these freaking pimp cups. Fill them.
This is for you, Keisha.
Keisha, you are right. No, we gotta fill these and we gotta start. Yeah.
We are. So
We're gonna
we're,
day drink a whole thing.
we're
Right.
listening. We're listening to you, Keisha. Connie Alicia said Gus is better looking than Jeremiah. Which, honestly, Connie, I am with you. If
I'm
you
with-
guys
yeah.
agree, disagree, let us know in the comments. We're going to have this debate. And lastly, Jennifer Greer gave us some inside scoop from Florida. She said she is from Florida, and no one local refers to it as the shore. Everyone says it is the beach or PCB, so they're wrong by calling it the shore. She also said that MTV After Show was really boring. So, girl, just come to our after
You've got
show.
us. You know what's so funny about the after shows? Not to knock them, because my wife has hosted many of them for many of the networks, but they're just highly produced. So it's you don't have that free flow. If when we have the people at AfterBuzz, the stars, we can all just really rap and we can go as long as we want. And I feel, I think as a fan, I know as a fan, I want that more than something that is cookie cutter questions. You can only even see the hosts. They have the earpiece in their ear, and it's like they're asking the standard questions that the producers are giving them, and you can tell sometimes it's barely any follow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's So I'm with you, but you got us.
Yeah.
That's why
Jennifer,
we're here.
Jennifer, you got us.
That's why we
We're
are
your
here.
people.
Couple things, but before we go to predictions. So speaking about the Jeremiah, Gus, who's the better looking guy. I think they're both gorgeous men, but I'd say I think I'm more Team Gus. But I was asking you guys, like, when you're Jeremiah and you're like in that flannel
Cut off.
sleeveless thing. First of all, like, would you find that a turn on?
I would not approach a guy wearing that. Just because, one, that to me says this guy's very into himself. He wants to show off the muscles. I'd much rather go up to a guy who looks like Jeremiah, but just Jeremiah, if he wore just like a V-neck, you still see the muscles. We still get you ripped, but you look a little less into yourself. To me, I don't know. But I don't know. Then I look at Gus wearing it, and I think, Gus pulls it off a little bit. Maybe it's because Jeremiah's so big. Just like such a massive, beefy dude.
Well, can I tell you, to be honest, if you look carefully, and probably something wrong with me that I am looking this carefully, but he cut his, Jeremiah cut his
tighter.
Tighter and more skin shows.
So maybe that's it. Like, it just shows too much.
Yeah. Stacey.
He reminds me of those guys from Thunder from Down Under.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't think that's attractive. I think the humble cover up.
Or even show a little, like, you can wear a skin tight shirt, just a full shirt. Like, make it full. But Kevin, I think you should wear one in honor of that.
So get out of my romper next week.
We'll just switch it up.
And go with the, okay, I'll do it. I will. That's not even that's not, no. Okay, you guys, let's go to predictions.
Ooh, love a good prediction.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, guys. Staycation.
I think Amy's gonna get like alcohol poisoning or something.
Yeah, what happens with her?
It's gonna get sad, kind of. I think it's a little scary.
I think so. Yeah, and I think she'll be scared to go to the hospital and yeah. Okay, we've got that.
And I think Nilsa is going to get a little crazy, more dramatic over Gus because he's gonna start bringing home more girls.
Okay.
And I can't wait to see that.
And what about the fight we see?
I think it's going to get like physical probably. Yeah, it's going to get more physical.
All right, Margalicious.
Okay. I think, I'm going to get specific. I don't think it's alcohol poisoning because we saw she wasn't slurring her words. She seemed kind of alert. So I don't know if it's like a serious medical issue, but I'm thinking it might be something not alcohol related. That's my prediction. I think Nilsa's going to try to hook up with Gus, and I think he's going to get cold feet and freak out and be like, no, and like leave the room last minute.
From the carryover.
From the carryover.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think they're going to like go in the room, maybe make out, and then he's going to get freaked out and leave. And then she's going to get upset. And I think the fight involves Kirk, and I think it's Kirk who gets arrested. We'll see.
Kirk, really?
I think it's Kirk.
Okay. You know what? I agree. I think that the credit's going to roll, and we're gonna come back next week, and I think he's going to go, you know what? Let's just not yet, or let's be friends, whatever. Which is going to be great, and that's going to just make more trouble down the road. He's doomed either way now.
Yep.
The minute any minute she sat on his lap, he was doomed. But which is great. I think that there's going to be a fight, and we see that. You say it's Kirk. I wonder if it's Codi. I just saw a red shirt with the cuffs, and I thought it was a white guy, but I'm not sure. Listen. I hope it's not Kirk because I agree. I always go back to it was an old episode of Real World, and I forget it was one of the African American cast, and they all were drinking, and he got arrested. And I remember him saying in his interview, like, the last thing I ever wanted was to be that stereotype, just another black guy in cuffs, And so just on that note, but Kirk is always the one that is all about, I'm from Atlanta, I defend the team, I defend the family, but Codi's like that too.
True.
So we'll see. But and it was interesting. There was one older white guy, like middle-aged guy, who's yelling back, and he must have signed a release because they didn't blur out his face. So it's going to be interesting.
It'll be very interesting.
Big bar fight.
And also, who starts the fight? Because I have a feeling for some reason it's one of the girls starts that thing.
Well, there you go. Well,
damn.
Guys,
I'm excited.
As we said before, feel free to agree or disagree on YouTube or on iTunes, but you know what? I think, they say cabs are here as well on this show. Did you know that?
What did they say?
They said tonight, they said cabs are here. I heard them.
What? Okay. All right.
But wait. I'm open. No, but they did say that. But what? Do we have something else to take us out?
No.
Chi-Chi's up.
Well, yes, we'll do Chi-Chi's up when it's finally over. But no, I think, Anthony, yeah, I think cabs are here.
The cabs
Cabs
are
are
here.
here.
Listen, even unless people at home have something better for us, we'll just
Hit us with
we'll say
it.
the cabs are here. Staycation, what do you got going on? Where do we find you?
Oh my gosh, I do the 90 Day Fiance after show. Crazy hot messes. If you guys want to see that on Wednesdays,
God.
we film that at 7.
Oh my God.
Ooh,
and you know, George, so good I am. You know, George is going to brawl with Russ next week. Did you see that?
I haven't seen the last episode yet. I'm like watching that right
I
when I
mean,
get
no,
home.
they're previewing the
Oh, okay.
the after show for next week. Yeah, 90 Day Fiance, can't get enough of it. And where do we find you?
Oh, you can find me everywhere at Stacey Olivas.
Nice. Margalicious. You.
Well, guys, I do the Big Brother after show on Thursdays at 8 p.m. We have so many fun guests. Last week we had James Maslow. We got another person this week, so tune in. Super fun show. You can follow me on Twitter at Morgan_Roulette. If you want to get crazy on Instagram, throw me a comment or a like. You can follow me at Morgan Lee, Leigh Willette.
And as for me, people, I do AfterBuzz TV Bar Rescue. I do AfterBuzz TV. That's it right now. You know, check out my Cobra Kai series. I'm very proud of that. We did 4 episodes. It was a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday nights at around 7 Pacific time, go to thetomorrowshow.com. I do The Tomorrow Show. You can also find that on iTunes. And I guess, you know what, guys? It's time to put them up.
Well,
Should I say it?
I love this.
say it.
Chi-Chi's up.
Zup.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Chi-Chi's up.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.